And we begin tonight with new developments in the coronavirus emergency in America and around the world. President Trump tonight weighing a drastic move. The U.S. now with more than 119,000 cases and more than 2,000 deaths. The president unexpectedly announcing he may issue a 2-week quarantine for parts of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. The governor tonight calling it a, quote, federal declaration of war on the states. New York State with about half of those cases, overwhelming hospitals. Governor Andrew Cuomo revealing the state has begun large-scale testing of an experimental treatment. Tonight, the U.S. Navy hospital ship Comfort making its way to New York, deploying from Norfolk, Virginia today. The NYPD losing another one of their own detectives, Cedric Dixon, the first uniformed officer to die from complications of coronavirus. Chicago now in danger of becoming America's next hot zone. The Army Corps of Engineers now converting McCormick Place into a makeshift hospital. And L.A., take a look at this, closing its beaches for now. Cases there expected to soar. The virus also spreading across Texas, more than 2,000 cases. ABC's Stephanie Ramos leads us off tonight.
Today, President Trump sending a Navy hospital ship to help hard-hit New York. But as he departed the White House, Trump floated the idea of shutting down the entire region.
There's a possibility that sometime today we'll do a quarantine, short-term, 2 weeks on New York, probably New Jersey, certain parts, and Connecticut.
The proposed order could affect the tri-state's more than 30 million residents, the most populous urban area in the country.
Well, this would be an enforceable quarantine, and, I'd rather not do it, but we may need it.
The president saying he spoke to New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo before his announcement. But during his own press conference, minutes later, the governor caught off guard.
No, I haven't had those conversations. I don't even know what that means. I don't know how that could be legally enforceable. And from a medical point of view, I don't know what you would be accomplishing. But I can tell you, I don't even like the sound of it. Not even understanding what it is. I don't like the sound of it.
A regional quarantine of such magnitude appears to be unprecedented. Tom Bossert worked for President Trump as his Homeland Security advisor.
Although the president does have these authorities, it'll almost be a necessary precondition that the governor and the mayor and all of the officials under their command and control do this voluntarily, in agreement, and more importantly, with their cooperation.
Trump says governors from states less affected by the virus asked him to look into a quarantine for the tri-state area. South Carolina, Texas, Maryland, Florida, among the states ordering visitors from some areas like New York and Louisiana to self-isolate. In Rhode Island, these stark images, the National Guard deployed to train stations, checking passengers' tickets. Anyone who has been to New York told to quarantine for 14 days. The governor also ordering the National Guard to go door to door, looking for people who have traveled to New York, collecting their contact information, asking them to self-quarantine as well. And state troopers stopping drivers with New York plates.
Folks from New York present a different kind of danger to the people of Rhode Island. I know this is unusual. I know it's extreme. And I know some people don't agree with it.
The virus striking around the country. In Illinois, more than 450 new cases and 13 deaths, including an infant.
If you haven't been paying attention, maybe this is your wake-up call.
The McCormick Place Convention Center in Chicago set to be transformed into a 3,000-bed hospital for coronavirus patients. In Louisiana, another hotspot, more than 3,000 cases and more than 130 people dead. Mardi Gras held in the state just a few weeks ago. The mayor of New Orleans says she would have canceled the iconic parades if there would have been more guidance from the federal government at the time.
When it's not taken seriously at the federal level, it's very difficult to transcend down to the local level in making these decisions.
In Los Angeles, officials implemented even more restrictions, closing most hiking trails and beaches. Offshore, one of the Navy's floating hospital ships, Mercy, starting to admit patients with ailments other than the virus today. The Comfort sailing toward New York, bringing 1,000 beds. With more than 52,000 COVID-19 cases, the state is the epicenter of the crisis in this country. The death toll climbing now to 700, up more than 200 from just yesterday. The governor announcing today 4 new emergency medical facilities like this one at the Javits Center will be built.
All right, Stephanie Ramos joins us now from New York. And Stephanie, I want to go back to the president's comments about possibly quarantining parts of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. When the president first made the comments, it surprised some of the governors of those states.
Absolutely, Tom. And there are still a lot of questions tonight. New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo says a multi-state quarantine would not be legal and that it would be more of a lockdown. And Connecticut's governor, who says he's been in touch with Cuomo, he says he wants to speak to the president about this, afraid confusion could lead to panic. Tom.
Stephanie Ramos on those breaking developments tonight. Stephanie, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.